Alrighty, we continue coast to coast. It is the Zach Gelb Show. Jadarian Price has had an unbelievable start to his season with Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish are back up to 16th in the country after their victory up against Boise State. They have NC State this upcoming weekend before the next weekend showdown up against USC. And Jadarian is kind enough to join us right now. Jadarian, thanks for the time. How you been?
I've been great, man. You know how the season is busy, long hours, but it's an honor to be at this university.
Well, let me start you off because I know it's an honor to always find the end zone. My, oh my. What a touchdown run that was last weekend. 49 yards, bulldozing through defenders. Just kind of take me through it.
Yeah, Boise State was a very tough defense. They didn't flinch one bit. They brought the safeties down a lot, and they knew we were running the ball. Um, but it was just one of those games where, the early on in the season, we've had a lot of explosive plays first, second quarter, but this game it took, to the second half to where we really got, a play of over 20 yards on the ground. So that's just one of those games where you gotta keep going, keep fighting, and it'll show sooner or later.
I don't know how you do with comparisons, but when I was watching that game live and I saw you on that touchdown run, I said to myself, am I watching Aston Jeanty? And maybe Boise State was on my mind, but that's what I thought. When you hear that, just well, how do you kind of react to it?
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely one of those runs. Aston Jeanty had a lot of those last season, but I knew I was capable of something like that, and that just, goes to what I do in the off season and what I've been doing in practice and off season wise, just focusing on contact balance and things like that, and finishing. That's what we do pretty well in the running back room.
Well, you're such an explosive player and you're a well-rounded player. We saw that up against Purdue in that unbelievable game that you had. Take me through those emotions, though, when you take the ball the entire distance of the field and you have a 100-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, so from that 100-yard kickoff return compared to the one I had 2 years ago, I will say my stamina has increased because 2 years ago against USC, I feel like I was dying and legs, hamstrings were tight and but after this one, I was like, oh, I'm feeling better. So that was the biggest difference that I noticed is my body actually can maintain. My body has the capacity to, maintain such a rigorous, game and a lot of carries and the distance that I ran. So that's the mo one thing I'm most proud of.
That's a nice humble brag when you could say, "Oh, I've had two of those returns for 100 something yards." That's a nice feeling, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Jadarian Price here with us. So I've been seeing this nickname for you and Jeremiyah Love for Malik Zaire. Price of Love. Are we rocking and rolling with the nickname these days?
I've seen a lot of that lately. People trying to come up with nicknames. I think it's pretty cool, just get our names buzzing and get people talking. But I don't know. I'm a creative individual, but I can't think of a good one off the top of my head. I think that's something that me and Jeremiah will leave to the fans and everyone else for sure.
Just get the t-shirts going, right, in this
Yeah.
NIL era. There's no doubt about that. Jeremiyah Love, he came on with us last year. He was so impressive. We've seen what he's been able to do on the football field the last few seasons. You being same age, in that running back room, sharing the same journey. What are you able to kind of learn from your teammate?
The one thing I've learned from Jeremiah, and I've said this a couple times in a lot of other interviews, is the way he approaches the game. He truly loves the game of football, and that me being his roommate on the road when we stay in the hotels and stuff, like he's watching film the night before the game, deciding, oh, what am I going to do? What move am I going to do in the open field against? And I sat there and watched the process off the field of, his talent. I mean, he's more athletic than anybody I've ever seen, but just, the time and effort he puts into this game because he loves it is truly unbelievable. But also just what I've really learned from him is, you know, at the end of the day, this is a game and you gotta play like that, Just like when we were kids scoring 4 touchdowns in a game, doesn't mean you can't do it in college, and just going out there and having fun and trusting your instincts really is what I learned a lot.
How is he as a roommate? When you guys are on the road, is he a clean roommate?
Yeah, he's a clean individual. Jeremiah, yeah, he's very OCD, and I think we're similar in that way too. Just very clean and like ways a certain things a certain way. So
Jadarian Price here with us. So it's so interesting when you have two young guys, right, playing at Notre Dame at such a high level. There's only one football, but I know how competitive both you guys are. I'm assuming that competition with you guys in the same running back room creates a healthy competition to try to, in a fun way, one up one another and get the best version out of each other, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, either one of us that scores is not our touchdown, it's the team's touchdown. And as long as whoever scores, whoever's doing, the work understands that and understands that it takes all 11 guys on the field to get that accomplished, there's only so many more that will happen, because everyone's believing in you, whether it's the lineman blocking, to the quarterback handing you the ball, to the receivers blocking on the perimeter, which they've done a great job of doing this season. Um, all the work that me and Jeremiah does, you know, it's a testament to all, to 10 other teammates on the field who are doing the job of really, they're 111th and, continue, even though the average play is 5 seconds, it can turn into 8, 10 seconds with me and J Love running. So you never know. And that's just, I'm really proud of the way uh, my teammates have really, been with us on the way and just holding our backs for real.
I'll get to some of your teammates in a bit as Jadarian Price is here with us with the Notre Dame football team. What is one thing, though? Like, if you could steal one thing from Jeremiyah Love's game and implement it into your game, if you had that ability, what would be the one thing you'd take from him?
Um, he's, I guess the biggest one would be his ability to hurdle. I think I'll tell you what, not many people can do that and also do that and stay on their feet. So that is, I know a lot of people nowadays try to hurdle, but to be able to hurdle and stay on your feet and create yards after contact once you land and run into the next person, that's unbelievable. And I think that'd be pretty nice to add, I guess.
It's so crazy. Like, just watching it, it's almost like breathing for him. When you look at hurdling, he does it in just such an effortlessly fashion. It's now when I see it, I go, "Oh yeah, that's cool," but that's Jeremiyah Love. That's what he does, right?
Yeah, it's all about being a fearless player, fearless competitor, not being afraid to do what you're born to do, what your talent gives you the ability to do. So, um, that's just who he is as a competitor and who he is as a person.
All righty, let me get to CJ Carr, your quarterback. How good do you think he could be? Because what I've seen so far, I've been impressed, and I feel like there's a different level he could take his game to. But man, it seems like you guys got a special young quarterback there at Notre Dame.
So we've known he was special since the summer, just the way he carries himself, the way he leads, and his talent and his competitiveness on the field. I haven't seen many quarterbacks talk trash to a defense like that in my life. And that just shows you he has so much confidence in himself to make it and back it up too. It's all friendly like trash talk with our defense every day, but to be able to back it up every single rep and have that confidence is what we really like to see. Um, but yeah, and what 6 games in, we've really seen, the side of CJ that's has so much more potential as well. But um, we're glad to have a quarterback like him, just being able to lead us and be competitive.
When you look at your defense, what direction do you think they're headed into? What do you think going up against your defense in practice that they could be as the season continues to progress?
I think we have some of the biggest playmakers in college football, from our linebackers to our secondary, and our defensive line. I mean, those guys, Jason Onye, like guys like that are just can just throw you with one hand. But yeah, I mean we go against our linebackers every day, and those guys, I'll tell you what, they're strong, they're fast, they're twitchy, and yeah, guys like Leonard Moore who just can, be careful throwing the ball his way. And I think it starts with the players, just we have a lot of playmakers, but they're also smart individuals, and I learn a lot from them as well. Don Shula is one of the smartest football players I've been around. He's also the captain of the team, and I think it helps that we have, a couple captains on the defense side and then a couple on the offensive side because we come together and we try to, be the best we can be.
Yeah, and I don't. I know people don't want to hear excuses, but I think it is a testament to what this guy meant to the university. You guys have so much talent on the defensive side of the ball, but I think people have to remember, this is a defense that has lost Xavier Watts to the NFL, and he was a player for you guys for the last few years, who not only was one of the best players on Notre Dame's team, he was one of the best players in the country, period. So I think when you lose a player to that magnitude, it takes a little bit of an adjustment to really get things going.
Yeah, you see what he's done at the NFL level as a rookie, so that just shows you how good he actually was in college. He's doing it at the NFL level too. But yeah, it sucks to lose guys like that, but we've got so much talent. Like our team is so young, but it's so talented and has so much room to develop, and that's really exciting to see, for the future of Notre Dame.
Also, with how your season started, we know what happened last year with NIU, and then you guys won out and you made it all the way to the national championship game. This year, you had the two tough losses, the two very good teams in Notre Dame. Excuse me, to Miami and then A&M. And now you guys are back in that mode of, okay, Notre Dame's got to win out again. Since you were in that spot last year, is there a comfortability knowing that you guys were able to do it last year, that you're capable of doing it once again this year to get back to the CFP?
There's really not comfortability with that just because anything can happen. If you're not prepared, in this day and age in college football, anybody can beat you. But also, we know if we prepare the right way, we can beat anybody. So that's just our mindset going forward is being 1-0 every week and just trying to elevate.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll ask you, I know you guys got NC State this upcoming weekend. Then after that, it's USC, and that's always a big game. You know, us college football fans, we love when USC goes up against Notre Dame. For your game, you do so many different things. We see the way you run the football, we see you on the returns. How much of an emphasis maybe goes into your mind about maybe catching the ball a little bit more out of the backfield and really making yourself an all-around complete player like we think you could be capable of?
Yeah, first we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and see how we can elevate each and every day, because that's only going to make the team better overall. We just got to, go out there and handle business and beat NC State this week. And like you said, USC the week after that, that'll be exciting. But um, as we're talking right now, I can't wait to get out there in 2 hours and elevate my game, whether it's catching out of the backfield or doing whatever in
Well,
practice.
enjoy practice, enjoy the rest of the season. Good luck and good health. I really enjoyed the conversation. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you.